All right, here we are. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I'm going to scoot back just a little here. We'll start today in a seated pose. And so I know about myself, I'm always pulling my right heel in first. And that's such a habit. I've been doing it for 20 plus years that today I decided to just change it up and pull my left heel in first and just to see how that might feel. And what's interesting is I already noticed the kind of awkwardness in my body, and I don't feel as easy to settle, and that can be a gift. It can be a gift to try something just a little bit new, and just to see how the body, how long it takes the body to maybe incorporate, adapt, settle when something new comes in. And for me, it's very natural to close my eyes. That's not everybody's lived experience. If it's more settling for you to keep your eyes open and gazing at one spot, that's great. If it feels settling to close your eyes, that's great. We're somewhere kind of in between where you're just gazing down, eyes are a bit heavy, a bit soft. And then we'll begin to rock slightly forward and back so that it's a very small movement, but we're feeling the weight shift from the front of our sitting bones toward the back of our sitting bones. This is very subtle, but we're noticing how when the weight shifts a little bit forward on the sitting bones, the sacrum tips ever so slightly, like the tailbone is going up, like this most minuscule cow pose. And when the weight comes back more on the back of our sitting bones, the pelvis shifts very, very slightly, like a minuscule cat pose. Yeah. So we're just noticing the tiny, subtle movements of the pelvis without really using any musculature, just by slowly and very small rocking and shifting of weight. And then very gently and slowly, we're going to move our weight side to side. And again, this is a tiny, almost imperceptible movement, but we feel how it feels to have our weight shift more to the right hip and sitting bone, and then more to the left. And the sensation that you might feel here would be changed if we changed the cross of our legs. So we're just noticing, what's the sensation? Are you leaning slightly right, slightly left? Or do you feel pretty balanced in the center? We'll come to what feels like center for us. And it's okay to still have tiny movement, but it would almost not be seen from the outside. We're tuning in more to the subtle realm. In stillness, there's always subtle movement. There's the movement of our breath. There's the movement of our heart beating, our energetic body. And our nervous system settling. We'll begin to really feel our legs and the part of our body that is touching the earth, the cushion, the mat, whatever you're sitting on. And could you imagine from those sitting bones, a point that feels really balanced so that it's almost effortless to sit. You might even feel like you could sit here all day. And when we find that center point connecting deeply into the energy of earth, the element of earth, the bones of our body, the mass of our body. our physical form, our legs, our feet, our teeth, and our root, our ancestry, our place within community, our place within the collective. Here on Whidbey Island in Freeland, we are on the land of the Tulalip tribe. In Seattle, the Duwamish tribe, all Coast Salish people. We take a moment to honor the legacy and the continued relationship of First Nations people with the land. We too can glean the wisdom of considering Earth our mother, trees, plants, animals, our relatives. In that way, we create a different relationship with what once maybe we thought of as our resources. Instead, become our relatives. We're more likely to have a relationship that is one of reciprocity. When we see the land, the water, the plants, and the animals as relatives. Now imagine how a seed sends down spindly roots, nourished by the soil. And from there, rises up through soil to reach for the sun. Imagine your spine is growing all the way vertebra by vertebra. Back of the neck nice and long, until your awareness rests at the crown of your head. And our crown energy, our connection to the vast vault of consciousness, to ideas not quite yet formed, to the God of our own understanding, and to our inherent dignity. All of us, across all lines of difference, all racial identities, all sexual orientations, all gender identities, all bodies, shapes, sizes, ages, mental and physical abilities, all cultures, all religions, all of us with the birthright to feel our inherent dignity and a fundamental sensation of worthiness and belonging. We are alive, exactly as we are, for a potent purpose. In the next few moments, we'll notice our breath coming in and out through the nose. On the inhale, imagine and know that your inhale is a gift, a blessing, an offering from the trees, providing the inhale we need, the oxygen we need. And your exhale, a gift, a blessing, an offering back to the trees, providing the carbon dioxide they need. see if you can just feel into a sensation of sacred reciprocity. When your mind wanders, as minds tend to, bring it back to the breath, the magic of this life. From this place, we'll start a little pranayama. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold the breath in for 4 counts. Exhale to the count of 4. Hold the breath out for 4 counts. So square breathing. allow your breath to come back to its normal rhythm. Gently open our eyes if they're closed. Bring our palms to our heart in any shape that feels true to you right now. May this practice be an offering to settle our nervous systems, to remember our connection to place, to earth, to purpose, to why we are alive at this time in these bodies exactly as these bodies are. This really potent time in history, her story on this land. And from that rooted place, from a place of slowing down, from a place of being connected to community, to our place in the collective, may we learn to open our hearts in a sustainable way, in a way that feels filled with devotion and love that is released from expectation and condition. May we open our hearts just to feel love that is our birthright. One Om together, deep breath in. All right, my dears, we're going to stay seated just for a little bit longer, so you might shake your legs out in front and then recross them. And I'd love to offer a little mantra that I learned back in yoga school. So this mantra is Kundalini, and it goes with mudra, or with movement. So we'll start the movement first. We'll inhale and reach our arms out and up. Exhale, bring the palms to the heart. Inhale, reach the palms forward, arms out to the side, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, come back to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, open them down to your sides. We'll do this twice more. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, arms reach out to the side, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, back to the heart. Inhale, arms straight up. Exhale, down to the sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, open and offer and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, back to the heart. Inhale, straight up. And exhale, down to the sides. I'll add the mantra. Apsahai hoa sacheda sachedoa. Har, har, har. 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 Apsahai hoa Sacheda, Sachedoa, Heart, Heart, Heart. 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 Notice how you feel, heart, throat, neck, between the shoulder blades. Notice how you feel at your root. My dears, we'll make our way onto our backs. I love when you sing. Always start. Always join in.
You didn't know I sounded just like listening.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So we'll do a few rolling bridges. Inhale, push into the feet, lift the hips, arms come all the way up overhead. Exhale, roll down vertebra by vertebra. And so we'll do that several more times. While I get some music on. So here, again, today's class is focusing on opening our hearts in a grounded way, in a way that's connected to our truth, connected to our purpose, connected to our place within the collective. So as we do this, we might be noticing at first, for me, for sure, I don't go up very high, focusing more on my legs. And on the roll down, almost a massage for the spine. Let's do 3 more. And then we'll draw our right knee into our chest or belly and straighten the left leg on the ground. And we're just jostling a little here. So I like to place my left heel on the ground, point and flex the left foot to get that rhythm going. Then my dears will switch sides. And this is just a little release for the sacrum, SI joints. So you might feel that little bit of jostling as settling to the nervous system. Tiny bit of traction for the SI and the low back. Now release, and we'll come back to bridge. This time we'll hold. So we'll want to make sure our feet are placed by our hips. I like to grab the edges of my mat, curl the 4 fingers under, thumbs on top, push into the feet. That helps me to get my shoulders underneath me a little more, to allow the bridge to feel stable and steady and supported by the shoulders and arms. If you can easily interlace your fingers behind your back, you can certainly do that. Notice your quads. Notice what is helping you remain in the pose, what is supportive. 5 more breaths. And then we'll slowly come down. Feet are wide like the edges of the mat will windshield wiper our legs side to side. Notice where you feel energy in your body. Does that feel like warmth, breath, tingling? What does it feel like? And then we'll come up and over onto hands and knees. And we'll do a few rounds of inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. So the breath just one way at first. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Now next time you're in cat, stay here. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. And the breath that way for a while. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Great. Now, next time you're in cow pose, inhale here. Exhale, cat. Stay for an inhale in cat. Exhale, cow. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. 3 more that way. Inhale in both places. And making your way to downward facing dog. We'll take the time to pedal and sway here a bit. Bending one knee, opposite heel moves toward the earth, and then vice versa. And then you can even start to get into the hips by bringing the knee slightly across the body, pivoting on the toes, feeling maybe into the sides of the waist. And then settling into a version of stillness. Remember, there's always movement within stillness. For 5 breaths. And then slowly walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. You might even have blocks. You might have them out front, 1 or 2. And start to bring your weight back in your heels and lift your toes. And just stretch your hands forward. So we're really engaging the back line of the body. And then bring your toes down and bring your heart out for the halfway lift so we have a real flat back. And so we'll try to do this several more times without moving the feet. So set your feet so here in this Ardha Uttanasana, our halfway lift, you feel your hips over your heels. And then on the exhale, bring your weight into your heels, lift your toes, fingertips still touch the blocks. Head bows a little. 5 breaths here. Weight moves into the balls of the feet. We're halfway lifting. Imagine a slight lift to your sitting bones like cow. Draw your belly in. Inhale here. Last time, bring the weight into the heels. You might have your fingertips on the blocks. Lift your toes. And then settle your weight over your hips, over heels. Bend your knees slightly. Look forward, halfway lift. From bent knees, rise up. Inhale. Palms right to the heart. And then arms at your sides, mountain pose. Feet are at hip distance. Or if you like your feet together, just notice, does that feel supportive? Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back plank. I like plank on the blocks, but you can also bring your knees down or your forearms down in plank. 5 breaths. Neck long. Hips high, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Draw your knee in toward your belly, chest, or even your nose. Round your back like cat. Shift forward. Look forward. Step the foot forward. Dip the hips, lift the heart. Breathe in. Straighten the right leg, breathe out. Stay forward, inhale. Bend that knee. Twice more. Inhale here. Straighten your leg. Inhale here. Bend your knee. Breathe in. Straighten the leg. Breathe in. Bend the knee. Look forward, inhale. Step forward and fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up. Palms pass through the heart, mountain pose. I notice my feet are a little bit closer. And notice how that makes me feel a little less steady. And that's okay, just notice. Where's your weight on your feet? How do you set your feet to feel the most supportive? So I moved mine out maybe an inch, and it's a huge difference for my body. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plank. Plank could be on blocks. Could be on forearms. Knee could be down. One or both. Just one knee. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Draw the knee in toward your belly, chest or nose, around the spine. Hover forward. Set the foot forward. Dip the hips, lift the heart. Breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Inhale here. Straighten the leg. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. One more time. Breathe in. Straighten the leg. Breathe in. Bend the knee. Look forward, inhale. Step forward and fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Set your feet so they're supportive. Rise all the way up. Knee palms to the heart. And then to your sides. Inhale, arms reach up. Cactus the arms, shine the heart up. Send the hips forward, squeeze your shoulder blades together, draw the belly in. Inhale, reach the arms up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Plank. Knees could come down. Shift forward. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Look forward. Step your right foot forward, then the left, and fold. Rise up. Cactus the arms. Hello, dear. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plank. Knees might come down. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Look forward. Left foot forward, then the right. Fold. Rise. Palms pass through the heart now, and we have a bunch of deer walking across the road right now. Love Whidbey Island. Inhale, reach up. And there's 5, 6 of them. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Plank. This time, knees could come I'll invite you to your right side, side plank. Right hand and knee, or right hand and foot. Left leg could stay down or raise to hip height. You might gaze up. Bring your right shoulder away from your ear. Push the earth away. Back to plank or hands and knees. Onto the left side, left hand, left knee, or left hand, left foot. Right leg could stay down or raise toward hip height. You might gaze up. Draw the left shoulder away from the ear, push into the hand. Back to plank. Knees could be down. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Walk now or hop lightly to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up. Mountain. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Arms reach up. Cactus like the arms. Send the hips forward. Send the heart up. Little bend to the knee. Draw the belly in. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plank. Left side, side plank. Any variation. So I like to put my right ball of the foot forward here. Knee pointed out to the right. And then back to plank. Right side, any variation. Shoulder right over wrist. Back to plank. Knees could be down. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up. Palms pass through the heart. Mountain pose. Arms reach up. Bend your knees slightly, send your hips forward, cactus the arms. Lean back. Arms up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Right toes step to the back of the mat. Bring your right knee to the earth. Come up low lunge. Now take your left hand to this outer left hip and draw it down. Tuck your tail under. Keep your left forearm on your left thigh. Reach your right arm across the body. Mhm. It's a big stretch for most of us in the QL, quadratus lumborum. There's a slight tuck to the tail, so we're not worried about sending the hips forward here. Just the side bend. So we can do this with the back knee up, but then we have to mess with balance, and I personally don't feel it's as deep of a stretch. Still useful for balance, of course. But for our purposes today, when we're opening the heart, we really want to make sure that our side body is lengthened. So we'll stay here 5 more breaths. Nice. Now come up, hands to the hips. That left hip is going to want to hike up, so we'll bring it down again. Scoot our toes a tiny bit forward. Tuck the tail, and now send the hips a little forward. So you should feel the right front of the hip, the psoas. From here, interlace the fingers behind the head, lengthen the neck, and start to lean back. So we're getting that back bend, but draw the belly in. We want the back bend to start at the bottom of the shoulder blades. Low back is long. Nice. And then release this. We're going to straighten just the front leg. So likely we'll send that foot forward. Flex the foot, and then think cow back. Ooh, hamstrings. My goodness. So I read once, and I don't remember where, probably Yoga Journal or someplace like that, that the hamstrings are tight. We're always prepared to run away. So to me, that said, oh, sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. So one of the best things I found we can do is not to go to the deepest expression of this pose like the splits, Hanumanasana, but to stay where you feel some sensation and start to slow the breath down. So my invitation today is to stay maybe a couple breaths longer than you might want to, because you get that little fight or flight kicking in. And to try to come back to that square breath. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. So for me right now, I'm finding it hard to hold for 4 at the end of the exhale, so I might shorten mine. Inhale 3, hold 3, exhale 3, hold 3. Nice, draw the heel back. Bend the knee, put the foot down. Send the hips forward, hands might be on blocks. More of a kind of a traditional low lunge. Try to tuck your tail very slightly. Inhale, 3 or 4. Pause, 3 or 4. Exhale, 3 or 4. Pause, 3 or 4. Bring your knee back underneath you, hands and knees. Shift your weight way forward. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Walk or hop lightly to the top. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up. Arms pass through the heart mountain. Feet feel supportive. Inhale, reach the arms up. Draw the belly and send the hips forward. Cactus the arms, heart shines up. Inhale, reach up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Left toes step back, knee comes down. Low lunge. Walk your hands up onto this right thigh. Draw the right outer hip down. Place that right forearm on the right thigh. Lean to the right, reach the left arm over. Slightly. Just balance your weight. You don't have to worry about tucking the tail so much here. Feeling more into those left ribs, the left side waist. Five more breaths. Great, now you're slowly come up. Hands come to your hips, outer right hip down. Mine sure loves to hike up, given any opportunity. Tuck the tail slightly. Send the hips forward. Interlace the fingers behind the head, lengthen the neck. Head leans back into the hands, elbows open, heart lifts up, belly in. Whew, shoulders down, T. Okay. Bring the front foot, maybe grab blocks. Send the foot forward. Flex the toes up. Imagine cow back. So the heart really leans forward. And then we'll try that square breathing. Inhale, 4, pause 4. Exhale, 4, pause 4, or whatever number works for you. Notice sensation. Could we slightly move toward that sensation instead of away? Of course, if it's really strong sensation and we need to make a modification, great. We need to make an adjustment to feel safe, awesome. But often, I find it's not that. It's more my mind doesn't want to stay. I want to move on. I want to keep going. I don't want to feel. So if that's true for you, you might just stay and breathe. And ears will bend that knee, so draw the heel back. Bend the knee and then just start to send the hips forward. Less emphasis on tucking the tail. Keeping that square breathing. And then hands and knees. Send your weight forward. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. And my dears, walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise all the way up. And palms pass through the heart, mountain pose. So feet at hip distance, slightly bend your knees. Send your hips forward. Send your heart up. Arms reach up, maybe even behind you. Inhale. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift. Down dog your way. So for me, I'm gonna hold plank on the blocks. You can go through chaturanga up dog if you like, or anything else. Meeting in downward facing dog, the right leg goes back. Draw that knee in, step your foot forward, crescent lunge. So, you could have a shorter, wider stance for crescent lunge. Bending the back knee a little bit, scissor the hips back to front. Take your hands to your outer ribs, slightly tuck your tail, lift your ribs up, send your heart forward. Weight in that back leg, arms reach up. Warrior two. Straighten the right leg. Triangle. Star pose. Goddess. Weight in your heels. Weight in the balls of your feet. Star, inhale. Warrior two toward the back of your mat. Straighten the left leg. Triangle. Pivot your back toes. Crescent lunge, you might take a wider stance and shorter. Bend the back knee a little. Scissor the legs back to front. Weight in your back leg. Lift your ribs up, heart up. Arms up, inhale. Down dog your way. Same right leg lifts. Bend the knee, spin the hip open. Step that foot forward. Crescent lunge. Warrior two. Hook your thumbs at the top. Triceps by your ears. Straighten your right leg. Triangle with these arms, hugging your ears. Inhale, star. Goddess. Release your arms. Star. Warrior two toward the front. Arms reach up, hook the odd way, other thumb on top feels strange. Straighten that left leg, triangle with these arms. Warrior two. Crescent lunge. Breathe in. Down dog your way. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up. Palms pass through the heart. Mountain pose. Bend your knees. Send your hips forward. Slightly tuck your tail. Send your heart up. Reach up, maybe behind you. Inhale. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Down dog your way. Left leg lifts. Draw the knee in toward your belly, chest or nose. Step the foot forward now. Your choice, back knee down or up. Low lunge or crescent lunge. Take your outer left hip down. Take your arms in a T shape. Right arm in front. So definitely and pregnant will stay here. Some of you might bring your palms to your heart and place either your right forearm or elbow outside the left knee. Back knee could be up or down. Twist. Down there. All right, my dears. Coming back. This time, back knee up or down again. Grab your right wrist. Lean left. Or you could interlace your fingers, which I prefer. Back to center now. Frame the front foot. If your back knee is down, we'll lift it. Straighten the front leg and flex the foot. Think about lengthening your heart forward. Then we come back to square breathing. How do we open our heart from a place that's grounded and rooted in self-love, self-respect, a full place? Then we're going to make our way to the long edge of our mat and fold forward. If you have tripod headstand and that feels safe in your body, you could take it, otherwise stay here. If your feet happen to be to the sky, bring them back to Mother Earth. Halfway lift, everybody. And then spin your way to the right. Crescent lunge or low lunge, placing the back knee down or keeping it up. Taking that outer right hip down. Twist with your arms in a T shape. Left arm in front. Where you might stay, or bring your palms to the heart and placing that left elbow or forearm or wrist outside the right knee. Whatever twist you're taking, try to remember to breathe. If you find it hard to breathe, you might come out of the twist. We're coming back up. Grab hold of that left wrist and lean right, or interlace your fingers. We're leaning to the right. And come back to center. Frame that front foot. If your back knee is down, lift it. Straighten the front leg and see if you can flex the toes up toward the sky and have a bit of a cow shape to your back. Square breathing if you can do it. Bend that front knee, down dog, your way, your way. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee and spin the hip open. And breathe here. And then step that foot forward. Warrior two. Interlace the fingers behind your tail. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Humble warrior. Arms might rinse out a little. Try your left hip back. Everything. And then we'll release. Straighten that left leg a little. And then from the ground up, and maybe with the use of blocks, half moon. And that front knee. Land the back foot down. Make your way to the long edge of the mat and fold. Halfway lift. We'll do it the other way. Let's make our way toward the right. Maybe with the use of blocks, we'll come to half moon first. Me personally, I like the block off to the right more. When it's right in front of my foot, it's harder. Bend that front knee. Land back, warrior two. Interlace your fingers behind your tail. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Humble warrior, arms rinse out a little. Release your hands, frame your front foot. Plank. Sit back on your heels. Take a few breaths here. Just notice the energy in your body. Notice how it feels to move in a steady way. In kind of a almost methodical way with a focus on alignment. Can that still feel expansive? Maybe sometimes even more expansive when we're in right alignment. We're going to set ourselves up for restorative fish. We're going to stay in restorative fish for quite a while. So instead of this practice kind of gearing up to this peak pose with all this peak physical energy, today we are allowing ourselves to feel what support would really feel like. What if our peak pose was utterly supported so we could relax into it? You know? So if you have one block and a pillow, the pillow can go under your head. If you have two blocks, I like to set it up like this. So this and this. Yep, perfect. So it's like we're forming a T shape. And we have, you can put this block under your shoulder blades the horizontal way. I prefer it vertical. It just covers more of my spine, allows my shoulder blades to kind of almost fall down off the block. And this top block goes under your head. So will come to where the bottoms of the shoulder blades are supported by the block. Oh my goodness, yeah. And then you might lift your tail a few times, wiggle your shoulders underneath you, sort of like we did with bridge. And then I'm going to keep my knees bent, walk my feet wide, and bring my knees toward each other, because that is a good neutral place for this back bend to not be in the low back, the SI joints, but to encourage the back bend in the thoracic spine from the shoulder blades up. If you wanted, you could have the block under your head on a lower setting and see what that feels like. But remember, it's not really about the neck. So if that makes you feel like your neck is compromised in any way, have the pillow or the block a little bit higher. And now, my dears, we'll let go of Ujjayi and the square breathing, and we'll look to extend the exhale. So say you inhale to 4. You might exhale to 8, or even 10, or even 12. And at some point, you might just let go of breath practice if the mind feels still enough to just be here without floating off into planning, scheming, and dreaming. If your mind is wandering like mine, bring it back to the breath. Bring it back to the sensation of being so supported that you could open your heart in a natural, almost effortless way, without force, without expectation or condition, but simply because we are born to love and be loved. What is your relationship with receiving support? Are you able to ask for it? Would you rather lend support to someone else? What's your relationship with vulnerability? Is that easy for you, or like many of us, myself included, challenging? Would you rather be the support for someone else's vulnerability? Dears, we're going to really try to move as slowly as possible to one side, doesn't matter which, we're just kind of rolling off the block. We can use either the block or whatever you have under your head as a pillow and staying in this more fetal-like position for a few breaths. And just notice energetically, if you can, the difference between that supported fish pose and then this fetal position. Does one feel more safe, more familiar? As slow and steady as possible for you, will come back to a seat. When we share these practices of yoga, meditation, pranayama, mantra, asana, it's all tools of self-discovery. And sometimes along the way, we discover habitual patterns that bring us out of alignment. Sometimes we discover new ways of coming back into alignment. All of these are just practices to help us create a little bit more peace in our own nervous system, be a little more settled in our own bodies, so that we can remember that when we are off in life and things get challenging. We might remember to breathe, to center ourselves, to feel a sense of grounding, stability, our place, so that we can feel vulnerable enough to actually speak from the heart. Speak truth with fierce compassion. One home together. In the spirit of peace, we say Shanti.
Shanti.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Salam.
Salam.
Amani.
Amani.
Malukia.
Malakia.
Irin.
Eri.
Shiakan.
Shiakan.
Jam.
Jam.
Pache.
Pache.
Pat. In the spirit of our collective and collaborative liberation, we say Aho.
Aho.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Amin.
Amen.
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 Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Kapu Aloha.
Kapu aloha.
In the catch.
In the catch.
Satnam.
Satnam.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
All right, my dears.